I had felt the call of God on my life for a long time, but it was confusing because at that period of time in this culture, women were not allowed to really minister in the church, so to speak. So, I arrived at it has to be a missionary because our denomination uh, formally puts their stamp of approval on women as missionaries. And I laugh about it in the book because I say, the women could go into the deepest jungles where there were tribes who kill and eat you, but they couldn't speak at the local church. I had to laugh about that now. But it was confusing. So I had to come to the assumption that God's calling me to be a missionary because that was the only thing my denomination officially sanctioned. And so at this particular meeting where the power of God came in, and we were praying and some were shouting and praising the Lord, it's just like the Spirit of the Lord just moved me to the platform, and I began to preach and prophesy for about an hour. And I mean, it just flowed out of me. I didn't have a study prepared message, but the Spirit of God just spoke through me and began to use me and exhort some of these kids to be saved. And I didn't know it, but some of those kids in my youth group hadn't ever confessed Jesus as their Lord, but they were saved that night and filled with the Holy Spirit. So I saw God use me, and I thought, well, maybe this is what's going to happen when I go to some foreign country, that God will use me there. But over a period of time, God introduced me to different situations. And one of them was I went to a prayer breakfast type thing, or actually I think it was a luncheon in Little Rock, Arkansas. And there was a woman there ministering named Vicki Jameson. And she's been gone to be with the Lord for a while now. But I saw a woman called of God, ministering in the gifts of the Spirit, flowing in the gift of prophecy, which I didn't even know that's what happened to me until I saw what was happening with her. But she was just a housewife that God called, and God used her all over the United States to minister healing. She was actually a prophetess because she prophesied healings in meetings, and great miracles took place. So, like you're saying, we have to open our eyes to different things. I'd never heard of ministry like that before. And just as sure as I am of what happened to me in that day when the culture wasn't open to the type of ministry that I would do 20 and 30 years later, so today we think we know all the ways the Holy Spirit's going to move. But there's a new generation coming up. There's a different culture, and God's not going to be limited by our set ideas, by our rules and regulations. The Holy Spirit himself transcends and exceeds all culture, all denomination. And so on the inside of you, if there's something in there that's wanting to come out, that God's wanting to use you in, don't allow your mind and other people's beliefs stop you from the true call of God on your life.